I want to do a quick non-chatty get ready with me because I want to use this Danessa Myricks liquid blurring balm spray. I'm gonna put it to the test. This is gonna be the first time I'm using it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my wettest looking makeup. I'm gonna make sure everything is pretty much creams and glowy and things like that, except my eyeshadow. That is just gonna be, you know, powder eyeshadow. But yeah, I'm gonna put it to the test. Hopefully it doesn't look too crazy because I do have to go to work after this. But this is pretty much as chatty as I'm gonna get, and I'm just gonna kind of go through the motions with you guys of what I'm doing and call it a day. I'm gonna use some of my Surat eyeshadows in here. I think I'm gonna use more of these like peachy brown tones here. Putting a lighter shade under that brow bone. Shade Doré Rose right on this inner half. I'm gonna use Mapesh on that outer half and then a little in the crease. I don't know how to say this. I think it's Cuivre, this color. I'm gonna use this one right on that outer part right there. And then just a tiny amount of Truff just on that outer part. I'm not going for anything too smoky today. I really just want this kind of like clean, simple look. Sephora Tiramisu liner on just that upper waterline. So right in here. Someone said this Maybelline Colossal Bubble Mascara was really good, so I'm gonna try this out. Not bad, got the job done. So a foundation I have that is very wet looking is the Chantecaille Future Skin Gel Foundation. So I'm actually gonna mix this on my palette with a little bit of the green color corrector from Exa, and I'm just gonna mix those together because it's gonna add a little bit of that olive tone that I need, that they don't offer. To be fair, not many brands do though. I'm gonna start off with this ratio and just kind of go from there. I am priming my brush and just apply that all over. Oh, that's such a better color match. You guys, if you are a fair olive, I highly recommend using a green color corrector into your foundation. Just mix it in there, not too much, but a little bit makes such a difference. I'm gonna try mixing that into my Victoria Beckham foundation next time. My phone just keeps sliding. Stay. I don't think I even need concealer. My under eyes have been pretty good. They've been behaving. Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt in Light. And I chose this because it's also pretty glowy, but also pretty natural looking. And I'm gonna do the placement I've been really liking lately, which is kind of draping right around my eye area and bringing it down with a lighter shade, and then going on top of it with a darker shade, just a little lower, and then putting blush on top of that, but a little lower. So it creates this really beautiful like ombre effect. And I'm just going to tap that on all over here, a little bit above my brow, bring it down. I'm not going past my pupil over here. Oh, I hope you guys could see how pretty that looks. So glowy and healthy. I love this. And obviously this placement is not for everybody, but I've just really been enjoying playing around with my makeup lately in different placements. It's a great thing to do when you have free time and you're bored and you want to see what works for you. I'm gonna bring that up into my hairline. Now I'm gonna go in with the Sarah Creel Just Like Paradise Cream Bronzer. And using the same brush, I'm gonna tap into the palm of my hand to take off any excess and placing it a little bit lower than where that lighter shade is, because I'm not trying to just like layer one on top of the other completely. I definitely do want there to be a differentiation in color. So I'm just keeping this to like the perimeter. I'm not bringing it all the way in by my iris like I did that first one. And then for blush, I think I want to customize a color between these Vive Sunset Blush Bombs. I think I'm going to use Pesca and Rosa. And I'm gonna place it just right over here, stipple it, tap it. I'm gonna go back with my foundation brush and just kind of blend around all of those edges, just so there's not like any harsh lines. And my highlighting balm from Merit in shade Kava. This always looks very wet, dewy, luminous, and I'm just gonna go in with a brush and apply it that way. And just right up here, just tap it. Stippling and tapping are pretty much the same thing, so don't get confused by those words. This is coming out so beautiful, so dewy, very wet. So this is going to be a very good test for this. And like I said, I want to keep it pretty natural, clean looking. So I'm just going to go in with Lip Dew from Vive in shade Pesca. I love this formula so much. It's so pretty. All right, let's shake this one out and then spray it all over and see what it does. It says to spray it a couple of times. So, okay, I'm gonna fan it, and if I need to, maybe do one more layer, we'll see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do one more pass, see how that goes. Because it does say that it's like the equivalent of putting powder on, so I don't know, we'll see. It did put like a little texture in my hair. I mean, I'll take it, sure, I like texture. But it does feel weird. And I have so many setting sprays, so I have a lot of experience with these things. I also have the new Charlotte Tilbury matte setting spray, which I'm actually not that crazy about. It makes me look incredibly dry. Not good, not cute. So yeah, I mean, but it didn't make my hair feel like this, but we'll see how this looks. So far, it's not matte. It says it's mattifying. I don't see any matte on my face right now, except maybe my eyeshadow, but my skin is still very, very glowy. So we'll do a close-up, and then that way you can let me know what you guys think in the comments. So here is some different lighting closer up so you could see. It's still very like wet, glassy, dewy looking. I mean, it looks beautiful still, you know what I mean? But I was hoping that it would tone it down and mattify it a bit. And I did do 2 coats. Like I did one full coat, I let it dry with a fan, I waited a couple of minutes, and then I did a second coat. Again, I let it dry with a fan. And this is the end result. So I don't know, a lot of people are liking this, and it got, you know, good reviews from what I've seen so far. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to play around with it and see how it goes. It is by no means bad or anything like that, but I just from this one test, I just don't see the claims for it like actually working out, you know? I don't think anything has been mattified at all. And again, I still think it looks really beautiful, but I don't think it's been mattified at all. Anyway, before I go, I wanted to ask you guys, so I did this more vertical format because I want to try to put it on multiple platforms. And usually the vertical one is just for T, and you do more of a horizontal one for YT. And so I just wanted to see how this might look on YT. So let me know if you are watching this, if you liked this, you know, format, or if you want me to go back to just horizontal. All right, thanks for getting ready with me, and I hope this was helpful, or at the very least fun, and hope you guys have a good day. Bye. Okay, so I'm at work, and it is still dewy, but it has also mattified a little bit. Oh, do you guys want to see my job? This is my beauty studio. How cool is this antique piece? Look at that. Love it. I love antiques. And then some artwork, some more artwork. I love it here. But back to makeup. Yeah, not bad. I'm gonna keep playing around with it and see how it goes.